Hey guys, since today is usually the day that I share my book reviews in written form, I've decided to change that up and do it in a vlog form, but also since I haven't been doing them lately and I've kind of haven't gotten a chance to caught up on the books that I've read with you guys, I will be doing 3 book reviews today. Let us begin. The first book today that I wanted to share with you is The Glass Room by Simon Mauer. It's about a couple who's just got married and they're on their honeymoon, and Victor, the husband, he's a rich Jewish mogul, and he doesn't really keep up, his religion. It's not like he's religious or anything. That's just his culture, his background, and his wife is not Jewish at all. And on their honeymoon, they meet Von Abt, Rainier Von Abt, who they get to make their home, because they've been thinking about having their home built. And Rainier Von Abt builds their home upside down. You have to kind of you have to see a picture. Let me see. If you can see it, you can kind of tell that's the top part. That's the top part, and then that's where the living room, all that stuff's on top. The living room, where you would have the dining room, the kitchen, all that's on top, and then on the bottom would be the living quarters, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, all that stuff. So he builds it backwards, upside down, and the front of the house is all glass, and so it's supposed to be about when the Hitler comes about and the Nazis come and and they have to escape. And there's this whole part of it where he's actually having an affair with this woman after she gets pregnant and has a child. And my thoughts on this is that I was really disappointed in the book. Not because it wasn't well done or anything like that. It's just that it wasn't what I was expecting. I was hoping more of, more on what it was like for them to have to deal with the Nazis coming in and all that, but it felt like it was more, it felt like it was more of him being a jackass to his wife and cheating on her and being a complete artist and everything like that, and it was really disappointing to me. I was hoping for more depth. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and so that really deterred me. And I didn't actually finish the book all the way. I kind of skimmed through it, just because, I had issues with the writing myself. It felt too architectural, and I guess I can understand. It wasn't badly written, so people, it's not like it was completely horrible or anything. It's just that it wasn't my style in writing. It felt too architectural, too textbooky to me. But there were times when I was like, this is really, I felt like a part of me, 1/3 of me was saying, oh, this is very interesting. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very hard for me to read. I'll probably reread it, but for now my rating for this book is 2 out of 5 stars. The book that I read is John Steinbeck's The Pearl, and it's not a book by choice. It's for my English class where we read and write on what we read about. Anyways, it's about a family, Kino, Juana, and their infant son, who are poor, and he's a diver who goes after pearls, and these pearls, don't get a lot of money from them usually, and that's because they get ripped off by the buyers. And then one day, Kino finds a huge pearl. It's as large as a seagull egg, and as perfect as the moon. The pearl gives them hope and maybe a chance of a better future for their son, who, that's their main focus, is their son. And so it shows you what this pearl does to them, and in a sense, how it affects Kino and Juana and the boy. And there's something about his writing that kind of makes me not like reading his stuff that much, and that's why I didn't read this because I read The Grapes of Wrath. I read it, sort of read it, and the style was so boring. I don't know. I don't like his style. But in this book, I actually did like the book itself. I liked the story. I felt that they didn't. I wanted them to focus. I wanted him to focus more on Juana. Like, there's something about Juana that I was like wanting to know more. Like, why was she staying with him? What was she thinking? What was her logic in all this? What was she thinking? How was she feeling? He never says anything really about what she feels. There's only like he brushes on it, but he never really does a full on. Well, this is what Juana is doing and thinking and all that, like, what's she thinking? Like, is she wanting to leave? Anything like that. And so I was kind of disappointed about that, but I can understand his focus was more on Kino and what he does, how it affects him and those around him and all that, but it doesn't really focus on them, it focuses on him. So I was kind of, going back and forth with this. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. The third and the last book is Anthem by Ayn Rand, and it's about a man who lives in the dark ages of the future. In a loveless world, he finds himself figuring out electricity and falling in love with women that you're not supposed to fall in love with. At this time in the future, they've lost all trace of science and civilization, and then he finds himself getting hunted. Like, he gets himself into trouble for something, and so I found it very intriguing. Like, this whole idea, her beliefs, what she's seeing through this book. I'm not saying I agree with it, because I don't really agree with I don't agree with all what she's saying. Like, there's parts of what she says that I'm shaking my head at, and there's other parts that I kind of see myself agreeing to. Like, there's bits and parts, but without, with that, I still liked the book. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very intriguing, this whole idea that in the future we would lose everything that we've found, like electricity, cell phones, computers. Like, we live to have all these stuff, and yet in this future there's none of that. And so I was very intrigued with that idea, and how she has this man fighting against this culture that he knows there's just something so wrong with it. And I really enjoyed it, just because of, you have to really think, like, well, what would you do? What's your opinion on this? And what's your opinion on her? She has this really something that I've never actually thought about until I've read her, and so I'm very intrigued by it. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and tell me what you think of these books, if you've read them, or if you haven't, if you've heard about them before, and what you thought about them, from what you've heard. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one, where I'll be a movie review.